The Drazzy Show.
Yeah, finally again.
We're here again.
When was the last time I was here, bro?
Oh man, the last time you were here.
November, right?
I think so, November,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was November, man. I'd just come over from Italy.
Italy, yeah.
I think it'd been a week, and then you invited me down. And it's the same thing happened again.
You just came from Italy
I
again.
came from Italy, yeah. Give me like a week.
With more lemons. More lemons. But this time, you brought an amazing person with you. Who's this amazing person?
It's my wife. We're newlyweds. Desiree, say
Congratulations.
hi.
Yay, congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you, bro. Yeah, it feels good, man. Joining the married club.
Welcome.
Coming, man. So just trying to catch up with everyone, you know.
That's it, man. It's not a marathon. It's not a race. It's just life.
It's life.
Enjoy it.
School of life, bro. School of life.
Yeah.
So it's been good. It's still on that honeymoon period. Haven't gone away yet, though. Where are you thinking, Desi? Mexico. Oh, okay.
Mexico. Yeah, that's a lovely place, man.
Somewhere warm. You know, we come back to England. It's been cold. What we got? We got strikes. We got recessions. I'm like, what have we come back to, man? I've only been away like a year.
And you've got men who are allowed to use women's toilets.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, what have we? I feel like I've come back into a storm of stuff. And on top of that, I feel kind of, I don't know, like being in a place that's kind of sunny and nice, eating organic and stuff.
Yeah.
I've come back. I've been ill twice. Remember, I cancelled last month.
Yes. Actually, yeah, you did. Yeah,
because I wasn't feeling great.
I remember that. Yeah. That's insane, man. That's insane. So listen, man, I told you I was excited.
Yeah.
About this one, because the first one was like a bit of an icebreaker.
Yeah.
But this one, I think we're gonna see the Titanic this time, man.
Hopefully, bro.
I think so. Yeah.
Tell me, did we upset any? Did we cause a stir or upset anybody, or did we?
I'll be honest with you. I had a few religious people message me.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were upset because they were saying how, why? I can't remember, something where we talked about. Actually, no. I tell you what. There was one specific person I remember. Who said to me, "The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, never flew anywhere," and I was like, "Have you read the Quran, bro?" And obviously, it mentions certain prophets being taken on starships and taken around the world and stuff. And you know what? What I'm saying might offend certain Muslims. But the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, there was a chapter where he actually was taken from one place to another by flights. Like he literally flew on a winged horse. What are you talking about?
On a burak.
Yeah, burak. So I was like, anyway, but that was the main one I can remember.
Okay. No
Others
problem.
was just...
So yeah, I just wanted to ask you that because we might stir some stuff up here today.
Ooh.
As we do, you know, it's people are gonna be like, what? I was like, okay, let me just give you a heads up. I'll give everyone a heads up.
Yeah.
But look, it's not to upset anybody. It's just to open your mind and so you guys can do the research yourself. But you know, if you don't explore and investigate and you blindly believe what you're told, then you're just like Andrew Tate said, you're just in the matrix.
You're just in the matrix,
just
man.
in the matrix.
Yeah, definitely.
So right, so I don't know where to start, bro. Right, let's have a see. Okay, I got a good place for us to start. You remember you sent me that text, or did I send you the text on the digital British pound, the digital currency?
Yes, I'm glad you started that because that's something that I've been trying to research on, but there's not much information on that.
Do you remember on the last podcast we did?
Yeah.
I told you about that. They're going to bring in a digital currency.
And they have now.
And they have.
Yes.
So for everybody watching, we spoke about something that was on the hush-hush.
And now?
On the last podcast, we're not conspiracy theorists. We said it and it happened last month.
Yep.
Britain will release the digital pound in 2024.
Yep.
So I can't remember if it was me or you that's in the image, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It just goes to show we were speaking truth.
And it's come to light. It's come to light.
And that has ramifications, bro. That has ramifications. Do we know what those ramifications are?
I think we become like communist China.
Yeah. China's the blueprint. China, Israel, Australia. These are countries where they implement the really raw regimes. And then Europe follows like a sick puppy after.
Yeah.
So the most disturbing thing I heard about this digital currency is that it's programmable, meaning it has a lifespan. Meaning they pay us in a digital currency, but in 5 years or 2 years, it can run out. Meaning you cannot save up your money. You cannot create wealth or generate wealth. I pay you, you have to spend it.
Wow. I know that's what's happening in China. In China, that's the way it is over there. You can't save up. If it runs out, it runs out.
It runs out. And
Wow.
another thing that was quite disturbing to me on the programmable currency is that every single thing you buy is tracked. So,
But don't even that's the same now though. You go on Amazon, they can track everything you do. Any IP address or URL you go into, they can track it.
They can track you, but I can give you cash and then you can buy it for me. And then no one will know that I bought that.
Yeah, we still have some of that. Yeah, we still have some of that.
I can go into a shop and still pay cash in places and it's still anonymous.
Very true, very true.
But what happens is it becomes nothing is anonymous anymore. So like China, you've got the social credit system. So depending on how late you go out, what you buy, what you're looking at, what you consume, like if you're eating too much meat or sugars, like your social score goes down. Now, if your social score goes down, it means that they can charge you higher prices for fuel, food, petrol, gas, whatever, because you've got a low social score. Now, people say in England, oh, but they're going to have to roll out a new software, a new system. No, because if you have the NHS app, if you got vaccinated, and I have nothing against anybody who got vaccinated, my family got vaccinated, and some of them didn't, but we're not squabbling. But the blueprint for the software is on the phone. So your vaccination ID, your medical ID, all of that's already there. All they have to put then is the social credit score on that app. So it's already there. The blueprint's there. Everyone's got it. Everyone's got the app on their phone. This track and trace business.
Where's the freedom going to be? Where's the freedom going to be?
You know, personally, I'll give you Nigeria as an example. They had the digital currency, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
They tried to roll it out. And Nigerian people, I have to respect them. They're like, no, we're not using it. Less than 10% of the country used it. So now the government's kind of had to retract it.
Yeah, yeah.
So we have to push back because they're just telling us what they're going to do. And if in masses we kind of reject the systems they're pushing onto us, it's not going to work.
But it will never happen though.
Well, in England,
it will never happen. Maybe the French are known for revolting. Like they're known for it, but UK is just like, just complain, get on with it. Yeah.
Well, they call it stiff upper lip.
That's it.
Just get on with it.
Yeah.
Nah.
They'd rather blame immigrants than actually do anything about it.
This is the thing, right? Like, what happens, Drazzy, when gas prices go up 1 cent in America? What do they do?
I don't know. What do they do?
The whole country goes on strike.
Is it?
If it goes up 1
I
cent.
know the truckers went on strike.
Yeah. If gas prices, like petrol, if you're in England, if it goes up 1 cent, the whole country comes to a standstill. Then they have to lower it. What happens here?
They queue up.
Yeah, they queue up and we fight.
And I can't lie, I was one of them. When it happened,
me too.
I was queuing up angry.
I was driving to Timbuktu to find the petrol station.
Man.
But like, we just accept it. We don't go on strike. We don't go on strike and what have they done now? What have they done now with the laws? Like, you can't get together and protest without there being like a lot of control, a lot of police, and without potentially getting arrested and put on the system.
In the UK, you have to register with the police before you can protest.
Is that what you have to do now?
Yeah, you can't protest illegally. They call it illegal protest. You have to let the police or your local council know this is what we want to do on this date. Because I work in the industry where we get these emails that show all protests that are going on for the entire 2-3 months is all listed. So there's a database of all these things.
So basically, let me put this in layman's terms. If I want to protest, I have to let them know I'm protesting.
Yeah.
So if they want to arrest me, it makes it easier for them.
Yeah.
If I haven't complied with these oppressive laws that they put in.
So I want the address and I want the data of the guy who's going to be rallying up the people against my system.
And here's a story as well now. So imagine that even if you have a mask on, the track and trace and software they have recognizes you through that.
Yeah.
So if you think you're going to go in there with a hoodie and a mask, they can still get you with the 45-point.
Especially if you use those apps.
Yeah.
If you use those facial recognition apps that they make you believe are for fun, because they give you a nice blonde hair or a nice purple hair or something, or a nice moustache, just know that that's not for fun.
You know, I mean, going back to that digital pound, we spoke about in the last podcast, it's come out. And I wanted to talk to you. I don't know if you've heard of something called, it happened in 2019.
Okay.
It's called Event 201.
Never heard of it.
Okay, cool. So what Event 21 was, and guys, you need to look this up. It was a scenario where all the power players of the world sat in a room facing each other, and it was the World Economic Forum, the World Health Organization, the CDC, the military, all the different world leaders. They sat in this room and they simulated a pandemic, a global pandemic in 2019. And what happened in 2020?
These pictures taken last year show a team in Newcastle training for this very eventuality. Dressed in protective clothing and practicing specific procedure, they're well prepared.
So in this room, right, the world leaders met with, were speaking with the military, that were speaking with the governments, and what they were going to do, and how they were going to lock people down, and how this was going to affect everyone. They did this in 2019, and in 2020, lo and behold, we had the coronavirus. But check this one. So they simulated it, right? And in 2011, they had a film called Contagion.
I seen that, yeah.
You seen that, right?
Yeah, I saw it. I saw it before the thing even came out, the pandemic even came out. Yeah.
And exactly how stuff happened there.
Exactly how it played out, yeah. Happened in China, it spread. Yeah.
Right. So 2011, right? That film Contagion comes out. Now this is called soft disclosure. This is showing you what's going to happen via the media or films before it happens. Because like we spoke about last time, when the elite or the controllers want to do something to us, they have to disclose it to us. It's like a ritual. They have to disclose the ritual, otherwise they believe it will backfire onto them. So they won't openly tell you, I'm going to do this. They'll show you through films and music and media and videos and games what they're going to do. And they did that with that film Contagion. Then they did Event 201, which was like, many people didn't see this. They've only just learned about it now. Now, this is the killer, Drazzy. They've done it again this year, and it's called Catastrophic Contagion. Google it. Put it on YouTube. Put in
Is it like a film or a documentary or something?
No, it's exactly like Event 201.
Oh, a meeting?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
A meeting where all the world leaders, World Health Organization, World Economic Forum sit in the same room and they plan out the catastrophic contagion. Now, here's the story. In Event 201, where everybody would, they simulated this and majority of the world got vaccinated, right? Fair enough. Everybody thought they were doing the right thing, trying to protect them. No problem. All right. But the one demographic that was not vaccinated were children, right? Children can't catch it. They can't spread it. They're okay. Remember, we all had masks on. They didn't have masks.
Yeah.
This catastrophic contagion.
Wow, don't tell me, please.
Yeah,
don't tell me this time children are going to be the most vulnerable ones.
Well, this is it, bro. This is who they want to get because that's a big demographic. There's one child born every 3 seconds, right? That's the statistics. But this one now is meant to be what they've simulated and what they've told us. It's going to be much worse than the last pandemic. It's called Catastrophic Contagion, like the film that we watched in 2011. So they're aiming for the kids to get vaccinated. But this one is going to bring a big economic problem. It's going to cause global problems. Everything that happened it's going to be more lockdowns. It's whatever we had previously in 2020, 2021, it's going to be worse. And guess what? They're saying it's going to hit in 2025. So we have 2 years, bro, to get sharp.
I got 2 years to get in the gym,
to get
my health up.
Yeah, we have to think about what we're going to do for our family, how we're going to navigate this,
change your
how
diet.
We're prepare. I know people that have been stocking up on cans because you saw what's going on in America. There's food shortages, the shelves are short on food.
Oh, forget that! Look what happened over here during COVID.
Yeah,
people. I remember driving for Asda. People were queuing up like it was some kind of like depressed state, just to go and fight over toilet roll.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Do you remember the toilet roll scenario?
They were fighting over toilet roll.
And we were cracking up because, like the Middle East Africa, you know, have to wash with water.
Yeah, exactly.
So like, what are you not fighting over?
Jump in the bloody bathtub, man. Jeez, have another shower if you don't want to wash your ass. Do you know what I mean? What is this about?
We were cracking up. We were like,
oh my God. I don't have paper to wipe my ass.
People have no food in their house, but they have a whole room full of
toilet roll to wipe their ass. You need food to be able to shit in the first place. So how are you gonna poo if you... anyway, that's
the memes that came out were funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this was probably, I think, maybe the most disturbing thing that I learned recently in 2022, being away. Because when I was in Sicily with Desiree, we kind of switched off from all of that. We were doing what we were doing.
Good.
But then you come back into London, it's just like everything's just... You understand, life is so fast paced here, bro.
Yeah, it is,
I've come back. I'm just worrying about money. I'm worrying about bills. I'm worrying about what I'm gonna do. Like I've been doing more worrying.
Anxiety and stress, isn't it?
But bro, I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah, I feel like more anxiety, more stress. Like I feel like I need to plan ahead. I feel like we were almost in a bubble when we were away in Sicily, right?
Yeah, but you guys are lucky though. I mean, when you're in Sicily, you guys are on a lovely farm. Life is a lot more slower over there, isn't it? Here it's too fast paced, man. Seriously, it's way too fast paced. Like I leave to go to work around 5:30 in the morning. Even then, there's still someone trying to cut me up on the road. There's still some driver trying to cut in, and it's free. It's free. He's still because he's been programmed to think it's not 5 a.m. in the morning. It's rush hour. Let me cut this guy off. And it's like, bro, the road and the lane is clear. Relax.
You know what? Just as you said that right now, me being back in England, I read something the other day. I don't know if it's Oxford or Cambridge. I think it's Oxford. So you guys can check it out at home. But they want to make these smart cities. And smart cities are a part of Agenda 2030. Again, look that up, people. Smart cities are basically, they want to design the city so that wherever you live in your house, nothing is more than 15 minutes away. So whether you need to get your groceries, clothes, food, whatever, it's only 15 minutes from your house. Now, if your mum lives on the other side of London, so it's more than 15 minutes away, what Oxford are doing, they're saying you are not allowed to cross over the city more than 100 times. Otherwise, a year, otherwise you will get fined. And this is part of the Agenda 2030, the sustainability project that they're pushing, and climate lockdowns that they're trying to push. So this is happening in Oxford now. They put cameras up. Like, we've already got ULEZ. You already got the congestion charge.
That's all part of that.
You know, you already got the road tax. You already got the congestion charge. Now we've got these smart cities, and they're not going to allow. They don't want you to drive, basically. So you either take the bus or you walk. You know, so this is another thing, bro, and this is part of Agenda 2030.
But what I don't get is if they're rolling out these electric cars, how can they then use that as an excuse? Because it's still a clean environment. You're driving with an electric car. So how can they say you can't travel this many times because you're hurting the solar system or you're hurting the environment or polluting the air? You're driving an electric car.
They want you to drive an electric car. But the ultimate goal is for you not to even have a car. It's for you to use their automated taxi service. So they know when you get into the car, where you're going, and you're always monitored.
So would that ultimate taxi service be like you know, you see those sci-fi movies where there are these government cars where you own it, but you think you own it, but it's just registered to you with your DNA and everything, and you get in it and it just drives you. It's a driverless, automatic driverless.
That's exactly what they want.
All right.
So, bro, they want us to, and we're gonna get onto the they in a minute because we keep saying they. Who are they? You know.
Yeah.
But everything has to be tracked from. I'm sure you've heard of Elon Musk and his chip and all this like melding,
connecting to the brain,
the chip on the back of the neck.
We've been working hard to be ready for our first human, and obviously we want to be extremely careful and certain that it will work well before putting a device in a human. But we've submitted, I think, most of our paperwork to the FDA, and we think probably in about 6 months we should be able to have our first Neuralink in a human. So,
and eventually we won't need mobile phones, but they want to monitor your travel. Like, for instance, a part of Agenda 2030 is that you will only be allowed to fly once every 2 years, and the maximum mileage you can fly is 1,500 miles. So what? So if we have family in Africa, the Middle East, South America, what? We can only see them once every 2 years.
That's not good.
Who are they to say?
Yeah, that's not good, bro. I don't know. You see these elites or these powers that we say they. Yeah. What do they want? Are they just depressed people? What do they want from us? Like, why are they trying to do like this stuff? Is just stupid.
I always, I ask myself this question. I say, what do people with power and money want?
Because people can be depressed. All these laws and these rules that they're making just so they can have control. What they realize, okay, cool, you get the control, but the people are not going to be happy. Yeah. And how can you run a state where everyone's just like, oh, I can't travel, or I can't do this, I can't do that. What are they going to do? Just sit down and die or something? Is that what they want people to sit down and die?
Well, if you look at what they've done to us today, right? What they put in the food, how they've genetically modified it, the fluoride they put in the water, even the curriculums they teach in school. people have become very docile. They don't have as many riots. They don't rebel. They just accept like mindless slaves.
Yeah.
You know, like a good day is, you had a good day at work, you come home, you watch Netflix. You don't, you know what I mean? And then repeat. You're like a good ant. Like, you seen that film Ants?
Ants Life.
Is it Ants Life or is it Ants?
Is it?
I think it's Ants Life.
Is it
No,
animated?
that's a Bug's Life.
Bug's Life. Sorry.
Right. There's a film
Ants
called
Life.
Ants. Right. It's not Disney. But when that film Ants came out, it came out like early 2000s. It's like Pixar, but it's not Pixar. See, I think it might be DreamWorks. Can't remember.
Ants. I don't think I've seen it.
But it was about the, I think it was the crickets were coming in, and there was a few of them, but they were oppressing the ants.
Oh, was that the one where he goes and when he uses he uses the peanuts as an example, and he goes one peanut, and he lets the whole thing out and it crushes the guy.
Right. So that people said that shouldn't have been a kids movie because
it's
there was
deep.
so many deep stuff in it.
Deep, yeah.
Watching it as an adult, I was like, yeah, this is exactly what's going on. So people with power and money want more power and more money. And they want us to be mindless slaves who are not educated, who believe the corporate media, because corporate media is just corporate news that it's biased. You're not going to get the other side or the real deal of what's going on. But check it. There's fluoride in the water. Your food's genetically modified. They want you to eat synthetic meat and insects now. That's part of Agenda 2030, eating insects. I'm sure you've seen the celebrities eating insects.
Yeah, I'm a
Robert
celebrity.
Downey.
Get me out of here and all that crap. Yeah.
And they're eating insects and promoting it. So by having a poor diet, you deplete your hormones and you deplete your will to resist. And it's already here, bro. Like, if you look at the kids of today, and this is no slight on them.
Yeah, of course.
It's not their fault.
It's not their fault, yeah.
But they're not ready. They just accept blindly. They're born into the matrix that Andrew Tate keeps talking about. Like, I know everybody's seen this guy, Andrew Tate. He divides people, but ultimately he tries to empower guys, tries to motivate you, and try to get you to eat and train and be
as fit as you can, yeah.
Yeah, but when you start to speak out and try to motivate about this, you never know. I hope this doesn't get taken down because we've gone straight into the cracks. We're speaking about Agenda 2030, catastrophic contagion, smart cities, climate change lockdowns. We've touched on subjects, but it's going to divide people.
Yeah. There's one thing I wanted to touch on.
Yeah, please.
After our last conversation, when we talked about electric cars, I done some research.
Yes, all right.
And I was shocked to find out that the way we charge our cars today at those charging ports, they were doing it 100 years ago. So Thomas Edison is the guy whose name I was trying to remember in the last episode.
Yeah, I remember.
He's the one that robbed Nikola Tesla.
He did, yeah.
So Nikola Tesla invented electric cars. Thomas Edison robbed the idea of him, but then Thomas Edison got robbed by the government.
Yes.
Because he actually rolled out the electric cars. And I'll put some images up.
Yeah.
So you got these people charging their cars at the ports. I'm talking like it was late 1800s, early 1900s. Yeah. They were charging their vehicles like they're charging it now. And then the government said to Thomas Edison, look, get rid of that. Yeah. And he got rid of it. Yeah. So he lost out on a lot of money, but he made a lot of money from robbing Tesla anyway. But I wanted to show you that because actually you probably can bring, if you go on Google and you type up Thomas Edison electric cars, you see it. I was shocked. These people were charging it like we do today. So it made me wonder, why did they suppress that technology when it was there from the late 1800s?
All right, so I've got really, so I'm bringing the image up now for you. And I'll go to here. This is a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one. Even you can see there's one way they've got the charging ports.
The charging port right there. Let's have a look. Let's have a see if we can.
You can see them charging it. There, look, go back up. There we go. That's the lady. See that there?
Yeah, let's get the big one up. This is a good.
She's charging her electric car in what, if I'm not mistaken, is the late 1800s or early 1900s.
Right. So you've actually, bro, this is amazing that you brought this up and you remembered. Yeah. And I'll tell you why. So Nikola Tesla didn't invent electricity or free electricity. He actually rediscovered an ancient technology that's been used thousands of years ago.
By the ancient Egyptians, if I'm not mistaken.
Ancient Egyptians, ancient Indians, Tartarians, all over the world, they had access to free atmospheric energy. What Nikola Tesla discovered is that each meter you go above the floor, the ether, as they call it, is stronger.
Okay.
So you could. That's why Tesla towers are very high.
Yes.
Because the higher up the tower, the more free atmospheric energy you can pull in.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So he did that, and a lot of his blueprints and a lot of his designs and stuff have been stolen.
Yes.
And they've been stolen by the government and suppressed by the government because we are not meant to have free energy. Now, check this. The reason they've suppressed this technology is because they want us to pay for energy, right? So why have wireless free electricity and technology when you can put the lines up, you can monitor what people do, and you can charge them for it? For instance, if you look into petrol and gas, it's abundant.
Yeah.
Common and contrary to what they say. They say that we've passed peak oil and we really need it. No, it's abundant. It's the second most abundant liquid on Earth after water.
Yep.
Now, if you go back to like the 1700s and stuff, oil was like it's literally bubbling up from the floor. Like you only need to surface dig for it. You didn't need to drill very deep down. But Rockefeller decided that how can we create this fake demand? So he understood that, right, we need to make it seem like oil is rare and that we can create a high demand for it and charge extremely high for this common liquid. And this is why today we're so talking about, because fossil fuels, all these billions and trillions of tons of digging up are not coming from dinosaur remains. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
I forgot the exact statistic, right? But fossils are not found after 16,000 meters, right? 16,000 meters, you don't find fossils, but you have to dig to 32,000 meters to find oil.
Yeah.
Do you get it?
Yeah.
So how can it be fossil fuels?
Yeah.
If it stops at 16,000, fossils stop at 16,000.
Yeah. Yeah.
And oil is found at 32. It's not from dinosaur remains.
I just think that was a bit weird
Yeah.
when, the way they try and drill for oil, especially when they go to the ocean and they're digging so much oil from the ocean. I did think, okay, that's a bit weird, but...
For instance, check it, right? They tried to introduce this chip system into us, and everybody's like, nah, we're not getting chips, So what do? You create a fake problem in the world, which was a global virus. Now everybody has a track and trace system on their phone.
Yeah.
So they're going to do it again to step it up a level. We're doing this for your protection. Do you know what I thought something was dodgy? Like when you want to get medical care, you can go to the NHS, but you have to wait 6 to 9 months.
Yep.
Or you can pay and go private, right? You have to pay good money. But when this problem happened, they're offering this stuff to 7 billion people in the world for free. For free. I thought, nah, this doesn't make sense to me. Why is it free? If you charge me £300, then I'd be like, okay, all right. Now we know we're paying for something, but it was free. And that worried me. And then if you look at Bill Gates, the Bill and Belinda Foundation, if you just look into his history, he stole the idea from the guy that made Apple. Bill Gates has been in court many times for for stealing data and doing things that are very that just illegal.
Yeah.
So he's got a very dodgy character. And even if you look at some of his interviews with Belinda, they say some strange things like, yeah, we need to give this vaccine to the blacks.
Yeah, his wife does say some weird stuff.
And then she started giggling on the camera. I was like, what?
We know there are 60 million healthcare workers around the world who are keeping everybody safe. They deserve to get this vaccine first. And from there, you want to do tiering in various countries to make sure your most vulnerable populations get it. In our country, that would be Blacks and Native Americans, people with underlying health conditions, and the elderly.
I saw that,
I want to see them take it themselves. But, they've got, anyway, let me not go too far into that. But Bill Gates has a very untrustworthy character, and now he's buying up. This is an IT guy.
Oh, man. Yeah, I heard about I know you're going to say he's buying up land. He's buying up land.
So you've heard.
Yeah, to control your food.
Synthetic food, synthetic meat. In fact, while we're just on the topic, right? Can I play a video?
Yeah.
Let me get up a video for you, bro. I want to show our viewers as we're on it. This is what you're going to be eating, and this is what part of Agenda 2030 is. You won't be able to eat meat, you'll be eating insects, and the meat you do eat will look like this.
They crush insects together to make like a patty or something.
Here we go, my man. You're going to see it right here.
A juicy, sizzling steak made by computer.
Oh
While
my!
obtaining
It's like
regular
3D
meat
printing.
is a
3D
process
printing.
that's been taking place for millennia, cow, butcher, beef, Redefined Meat, a meat alternative startup out of Israel, makes their product using a highly technical process. The mix of soy and pea protein,
Drazzy.
chickpeas, beetroot, nutritional yeast,
see by
and
your face.
coconut
You're
fat
absolutely
is formed
disgusted.
into
There's this
steak-like
movie.
shapes using a 3D
What's the guy
printer.
who played Moses?
It's not Charlton Heston.
Charlton Heston.
Yeah.
Have you seen that movie where I forget what it's called? It's a movie based in the future, and it's kind of like a post-apocalyptic world, and the rich can eat the real stuff, and the poor have to eat that stuff.
Not Mad Max.
Not Mad Max, no,
Like
no,
Mad
that-
Max-esque.
no. This one, oh man,
Is it like from? Oh, it's not Logan's. Not Logan's.
no, Logan's Run is the different breed. This one didn't really. Oh god, what's the movie called again?
Soylent Green? No.
That's it, Soylent Green.
Right.
Soylent Green.
So shall we give the?
They had fake meat in there, bro. And this movie was made in 1973, from what I can see.
They got a synopsis on it. A nightmarish futuristic fantasy about the controlling of power
Yep.
of big corporation
Yep.
and innocent cop who stumbles on
On
the
the
truth.
truth. So he knew no different because he was born in that world. So he didn't know about the real world. But there was an old man who said to him, "Oh, when I was a kid, we used to eat real oranges." And I remember as a kid seeing that scene, thinking, "What's this madness about?" Then I got older and I saw Blade Runner where there was a fake owl, and he goes, "I remember when there were real owls." And I was like, "Why are they making all these movies where they're just trying to, take us away from reality, But yeah, that movie's a classic. If you get a chance, watch
I'll
it.
be honest. I might have to watch it tonight.
Yeah, it's good. Even this scene here, look, you can see what the world's become now.
Yeah, look at the
Fake water, fake everything.
and this is what I'm saying. They've got this whole sustainable agenda that they're pushing for 2030. They're saying, "Oh, we've got to reduce carbon emissions and this and that." Some of my friends who are like day traders and they do stocks and stuff, they're saying, if you want to invest money in companies who purifying water and in water. You can buy like stock in day trade on wheat, rice.
Yeah,
you can do it on
this
water
stuff.
as well.
Okay.
So he's saying that water, like we're talking about gold, oil, water is going to be the next big thing that they're going to tax. And they're going to make it hard for us to, because I was reading and we got very into water, me and Desiree, the other day. In Sicily, we go to the hot water spring in the top of the mountain, right? We go up there, we take all these big bottles, and we fill them up to get the natural spring water. We come back to England and I figured out that if you drink a glass of tap water, it's been through somebody 6 times, right? And on top of that, when you test particles per million, right, you'll have 300 particles per million. And of the 300, the most of the compounds in it are tissue and tampon. When I read that, I was really disgusted. I was like, right. Really? Yeah, bro. Yeah, sorry. Guys, I'm sorry. I'm just here to drop bombs. And yeah.
But the thing is,
Yeah.
I don't even know why I'm surprised, bro. Because have you seen what the what's do you call that stuff that the water comes through?
Water filter? British
No,
filter?
the tubes.
Pipes,
Under,
the pipes.
the pipes. Have you seen what the pipes look like?
Yeah.
Oh my god! I'm sure there's even rats in those things, man.
So what we did, right? So you can get like expensive water filters put in your house and stuff. But I found this to be really good. So I'll get it up on the screen. I believe it's a carbon water filter with 10 layers. Here we go. It's called Zero Water Filter.
Okay.
And it's, the Brita, if you look at the Brita.
Oh yeah, I got one of those, the Brita. Yeah.
Yeah. Britas are good. They're good.
But it's the next level, yeah.
This, right, so the Brita has, I think, 3 filter layers. This one, it has about 10.
Oh wow.
It has 10 and it's carbon. So
Okay.
look into zero water.
Never that expensive. $24.99.
No. And like the cartridges are quite big. The cartridges, hold on, let me go to images so you can get a better. Right. The cartridges look like this. And they're quite long. They're about that long. Let's have a 0 water replacement. So
Okay.
So this tends to purify your water. Now, just before we go on to that, I wanted to show you something else, man. Drazzy, sorry, man. I don't want to put you off a lot of stuff, but there was something on YouTube. Here we go. While we were talking about meat and stuff, because this is important, because very soon they're going to start vaccinating your meat. Now, guys, I'm not attacking anybody who's been vaccinated. Remember, I've got family who are vaccinated. I'm not attacking it, but I'm sure you've heard about all the athletes dropping dead.
Yeah.
Sergio Aguero, who used to play for Man City, had to retire.
And just die.
Myocarditis, inflamed heart. Even the NHS were given £250, £250,000 per compensation per case if you complained that you had life-changing problems, right? So they're now saying they're going to start vaccinating the meat. So if they start vaccinating meat,
what is next, man?
The
Seriously.
animals have problems,
Yeah.
and then you eat that, what's going to happen to you? And now, when we were in Sicily, Desiree has a cousin who he's got some medical issues.
Yeah.
He needs blood transfusions every week, but the hospital can only give him unvaccinated blood.
Why is it unvaccinated? What's vaccinated blood?
Well, this is it now. So I was thinking, well, why are they asking for unvaccinated blood? What do they know that we don't?
That's a big question mark, because that is a scary and alarming thing when they specifically want unvaccinated blood.
Yeah, that made
That's
me
odd.
That's odd, right? Now imagine now you are not vaccinated,
Yeah.
or your child is not vaccinated, and then something happens to them, and you need blood, and then now remember, this changes your mRNA. This is changing. It changes you.
What's mRNA?
So you've got DNA, and I think mRNA sits on top.
Okay.
mRNA communicates to the body how to change your body. I'm giving a really bad explanation.
Okay, yeah.
But once you take it, it's changed. You can't go
Alright,
back.
okay.
It adds like an extra bit to your coding.
Oh, wow.
And that extra bit to your coding makes you produce a spike protein, which keeps producing, which basically is meant to reduce the symptoms of this.
So do you think that's why they wanted unvaccinated blood? Because that type A is no longer type A anymore.
Well, they said it evolved.
It's been decoded.
Right? They said that the strains evolve now. So if you get vaccinated now, this new strain that comes out, it's not really gonna help you because it's evolved. I don't know. We could go anywhere with that.
Yeah.
But it should get people asking the question.
Yeah.
Like we saw what Pfizer said. I can pull it up. Pfizer said when they took them to court, did you test for transmissibility? The lady said, no, we didn't. So what they were saying is that if you get vaccinated, you will not
It was transmit your blood.
But Pfizer said they didn't test for that.
Wow.
And up until for 99 years, you cannot see the ingredients of the vaccine. Why have Pfizer locked that for 99 years? Why can we not see what they've put in there?
Because they want to cover their backs. By the time we find out they made a mistake, they're all dead by then.
Yeah.
You can blame my children, but don't blame me.
Yeah.
These guys are dangerous,
On a slight tangent, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember this whole Windrush scandal when England were deporting
all the
Windrush?
Yeah.
Do you remember that there was a body that was created to get the funds from the government and pay out these Windrush generation?
No.
Okay, I remember that. And I remember the guy who was spearheading it was a black guy.
Okay.
And he was like, yeah, we're waiting.
Coconut.
Trust me.
Coconut.
Bro, I remember saying to my dad, because my grandma's from the Windrush generation. I remember saying, Dad, by the time that money comes, grandma's going to be dead. And no, I don't even want to say this, but grandma died 2 weeks ago, bro. Money still hasn't been. And this is going on 5-6 years now. That this whole Windrush, your grandparents, my grandparents, they haven't got that conversation. Will they ever get it?
My grandparents are Ghanaian.
Doesn't matter, bro. But the generation that came from the 50s, that came over from Ghana, Caribbean, India, that's what it means. The people came over then. They're not going to get that
money.
That money. They're not even alive to get that money. Will the family get the money? So it goes back to the Pfizer thing. In 99 years, when we're dead and our children are dead,
they won't even remember that money's there, and you can't even remind them because you won't know where to go and ask for it.
This is true. Now,
dodgy people.
But going back to that meat thing, right? That's why we spoke about the meat, because we were talking about vaccinated
3D
meat.
printed meat. I can't believe we
check this one, bro.
3D printed meat.
Right, here we go.
Don't tell me they got fake vegetables as well.
Mate. Oh, China got fake eggs, fake rice.
Oh gosh. Plastic rice. Yeah, they've been doing that for a while. Plastic rice.
Then what one did I play to? Here we go. Right.
Meat glue.
So, all right. So what? I'll give you a quick summary. Basically, what they do, all the offcuts of meat, they sprinkle this white powder on it, and they put the offcuts together, and it looks like a steak. And they sell it for high quality in all these high restaurants. I'm just going to show you the volume on.
Known as meat glue, to stick together scraps of meat to sell as prime cuts. But while this product has been banned overseas, there's no law prohibiting its use here. Here's Rodney Lowe's with this special investigation.
It doesn't tear through the joint. Bit hard to tell, isn't it?
That can't be good for your digestive tract.
Bro, what is that white powder?
Butcher James Faulkner
cocaine.
You're gonna
runs
see it.
Queensland Natural Beef Company, an organisation dedicated to using as few additives in meat from paddock to plate as possible. But tonight, he's exposing how some parts of the industry are able to trick their customers and use whatever it takes.
Yeah. I've just got some fine diced beef and my special enzyme. I'm just going to mix it up a bit.
Why have we got the masks on?
Because it's dangerous.
You hear that?
Why have we got the masks on?
Yeah.
This powder is transglutaminase enzyme, otherwise known as meat glue. Meat glues come in a number of forms. Some produced by cultivating bacteria, the others, the primary ingredient comes from the blood plasma of pigs and cattle. Specifically, coagulant, which
Muslims can't eat that.
Real talk, bro. And Hindus.
Yeah.
Just got a little bit here, about a teaspoonful.
Yep.
And Jews.
Yeah.
Just over
It's
the
not
top
kosher,
like that.
mate. It's
And
not
rice.
allowed.
Gloves on, of course.
Yeah.
Mix it up.
It's not kosher, man.
film and refrigerate. 6 hours later, you have a solid piece of meat.
And essentially, you've got a reborn, rebirth.
If they're using meat glue and 3D printing meat and vaccinating your meat and giving them all these pesticides, all like the food that they eat has got pesticides, preserved, that is then going into your body, right? And then you're wondering why you're hyper, you've got all these allergies, you can't lose weight because your body doesn't know how to get rid of these things. And I come from a marketing background. I'm not like, I introduced myself as an organic farmer, but I'm new to that field. You know, Desiree and her family have been doing that for a long time. Now, if you look at Sicily and Sardinia and Japan, there are 2 blue zones in the world. 2 regions where people live to over 100 in abundance. And then you just have to look at the diet and the quality of the food that they eat. And a lot of olive oil. The Mediterranean diet's good, a lot of fish, a lot of oils. But if they're using this now, and it's like a secret, this meat glue, and then they're also adding, have you seen what MSG looks like?
No.
MSG looks like it's another white powder that makes everything taste nice and addictive. So they're adding meat glue, they're adding MSG. What other chemicals are they adding?
And what are the long-term effects as well?
The long-term
Yeah.
are horrible.
Yeah, I can imagine.
We're all having all this immunity or disease problem that none of us knows why we have it. We are asking each other why. It's crystal clear.
Yeah.
Right, so tell me if you heard about this recently. I grew up with Skittles. I grew up with Opal fruits, Opal nuts, Frutella, Opal fruits, Marathon instead of Snickers. But anyway, Skittles. Now, a guy took Skittles to court because he found that in Skittles there was titanium dioxide.
That don't sound right. Titanium sounds like metal, no?
It's metal. It's a toxic metal.
These people are evil, man.
Bro, why would you need?
Why would you do that to children?
Why would you need to put? Yeah, and apparently it's for the colouring or something like that.
Titanium dioxide. And
it says it's a chemical substance that changes your DNA. Genotoxicity. Yeah. So this came out was it last year? And I was in Sicily at the time, and my bro sent it to me because we're Skittles fans.
Yeah.
And I'm like, maybe that's what was making me hyper and mad and that. But this guy took them to court for something like 50 million. I can't remember the figures on here.
Why was this not on mainstream news?
It came in and went out, bro. It came in and went out. So quickly.
They don't want you to know. Otherwise, you're not buying anything anymore on the shelf.
Yeah.
So you mean Skittles can change people's DNA?
Basically, and basically add toxicity to it. Basically, kill you off slowly.
But probably half of the things that are on the shelves.
But that's what I'm saying.
But to be honest,
Yeah.
To be honest, you don't even need to even know about this news to know not to eat that stuff.
True.
Because that is pure sugar, man.
Chemicals.
That alone, even the natural element of it is not good for you. So, well, even that's not natural because sugar is artificial. So this is insane.
Imagine 20 years of consuming these chemicals and stuff, how you're going to change yourself.
Yeah.
And then how you're going to pass that down if you have children.
Yeah.
What are they going to turn out like your children?
Jeez.
So, yeah, I mean...
You know, I was talking to my colleague, just yesterday actually, and we were talking about how I'm 38, my generation and before, and the generation after me, seems to always be getting cancer or some kind of disease. And my colleague, he's 60-something, he was saying his generation was rare to hear about these things when he was young. So he was saying how he reckons it's the GMO because it started coming out around the 80s, 70s, 80s. So that generation that grew up on genetically modified vegetables, genetically modified fruits and meats and all this stuff, these are the long-term effects, all this cancer, all these health complications. So you're right. The generation growing up now on this kind of stuff, they're going to be way more screwed than us because they're going to have our generation's cancer, our generation's, because it's going to be genetically passed on to them. They won't need to eat the food no more. It's in their blood now. And now they're going to have the other way of inserting that into their blood, which is the food and the air or whatever that they're, intoxicating. They're just going to be a bunch of... They're going to be paying. I reckon even NHS might go private then because they're going to see so much money in these people.
That's what they want. That's why they're bombarding us with all these chemicals and stuff. Like that, they can make money, not us.
This is true.
They don't care about us.
Desiree made a good point. We have to follow the money trail. So for as many problems, because really and truly, cancer research has been around for 100 years.
Yeah.
Right? And all these researching have been around a long time.
Yeah.
If you really wanted to eliminate crime look at Africa and the Middle East.
Yeah.
Certain places you do a madness, that's it.
Your arm is chopped off, man.
Straight, yeah. You're gonna get or straight
Your
death.
penis would get chopped off.
Yeah. Even in Russia, right? You do something mad, they're not
They
gonna
beat you up over there. They gang violence over there.
Yeah.
Gang violence as in the people, the regular mums and dads would beat you up. Yeah.
So that goes to my point. If they really wanted to cure something or stop something, they could. They can clone people and they can do all these things, but you're telling me you cannot stop certain things or stop crime? No. So if you create an issue, like for instance, if you stop crime, you get rid of the police.
Yes.
If you get rid of the police, you get rid of the government's right arm in strongholding people.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you cure cancer, then you're going to stop the big pharma or certain diseases. If you cure them, what's it better to have? Sick people that you can keep coming back for repeat prescriptions on these drugs.
Yeah.
Or you cure them straight away.
You just reminded me of a movie I saw when I was a kid, and that line stuck with me. It's called Johnny Numeric. Have you heard of it? It's with Keanu Reeves, where he puts this thing. It's like an early version of Matrix. It was in the early 1900s. He puts this thing on his head and he travels into a Matrix world. And there was a scene where he finally got to the big boss, and the big boss goes, "Why are you doing this to people?" And he goes, "Because it's more profitable to treat them than to cure them." And I always remember that line. It's more profitable to treat them than to cure them. So that's kind of what you're touching on right now.
Yeah, bro, you just summed up what I'm saying in a nice. It's more profitable to
treat them than to cure them, and it's true, man. It's true.
What's the name of that film? Do you remember it?
Johnny Numeric. You Google it.
Shall we Google it?
Yeah, it's Keanu Reeves, Johnny Numeric. I can't pronounce. I always find it hard to pronounce the bit after Johnny. I think it's Numeric or Numoric or something like that.
It'll come up. I really like having this laptop in front of me. It's
Johnny
Mnemonic.
Mnemonic. That's it. Johnny Mnemonic.
Shall we read the summary? Yeah. Let's give the viewers we've given them 2 film recommendations this podcast.
I'm telling you, man.
So Johnny Mnemonic is a 1995 cyberpunk film directed by Robert Longo. in his directorial debut. Okay. Based on the 1981 story of the same name by William Gibson. It stars Keanu Reeves and Dolph Lundgren. Reeves plays...
I don't think this is subnusses. This is more like just based on the actual film itself.
Right.
If you go to Wikipedia or one of those ones, it should have a plot.
A plot. Oh, I should have typed in plot.
I think it might. Yeah. There we go.
In 2021, so that was last year.
And this movie was made in when? 1995.
Bro, society is driven by a virtual internet, which has created a degenerate effect called nerve attenuation syndrome, or NAS. Mega corporations control much of the world, intensifying the class hostility already created by NAS. Bro, what is going on right now?
I'm telling you, these movies were telling you this some time ago, bro.
You know, I actually haven't seen this film. Have you seen this film?
I've given you 2 recommendations in one episode.
Bro.
I am a movie buff. Me and my wife, which we love these kind of movies, man.
Listen, man. So I was at one of Desiree's friend's house, and when he introduced himself to me, this is Alex. He's like, yes, my name is Alex. I'm a cinephile. I was like, what?
What's a cinephile?
Yeah, that's what I thought. Because I heard file, and I was like, huh? So cinema.
Oh,
file, so cinephile. So he's really into film and
cinephile.
So
I like that actually. Yeah,
you're a cinephile.
Yeah, I'm a big cinephile.
Is like, yeah, man, I have to pick your brain.
Yeah, I'm a cinefolder, man.
Yeah, bro.
I got loads of files.
But this is again what we're talking about. Remember, we said soft disclosure, and then you drop this
slowly. But if that's the case, I got one even better than that.
Oh, come on, tell me.
There used to be a TV show in the late 90s called Sliders.
Bro, slide with Quinn.
Yeah, Quinn Mallory.
Me and my sister, right? We used to watch Sliders religiously.
Yeah,
that was amazing. You know what else I liked as well at the same time? Stargate.
Oh, come on! Stargate was amazing, man. It was amazing. But there was one episode in Sliders that I wanted. That's the reason I brought it up. They went to a world where there was a pandemic. You must have seen that one.
Do you know what? Remind me.
I tell you what.
Tell me. Shall I check it?
Go on YouTube and type up Sliders.
I feel like me and you are like Joe Rogan and what's his friend? Johnny Bravo.
The guy in the background.
Eddie Bravo.
Oh, that's it. What was it again? Sliders. They went to one world where
Sliders.
There was a pandemic.
Sliders series.
Pandemic.
And I'll just do pandemic.
Yeah. There's one scene where they were, that's the one.
The top one.
Buying a cheeseburger, that's it. Yeah, so this guy's coughing and everyone's looking at him like,
let me put it back.
What's this guy coughing for? What's his problem?
What are you looking at?
And bear in mind, this was 1995 or 96.
When you people are going to do something?
Boy, hit 911 any minute now, okay?
What's the black guy's name? Was it Rembrandt?
Rembrandt, yeah.
Yeah, Rembrandt was a G, man.
Rembrandt, aka the Love Man or something like that.
The facility is under stage 1 quarantine. Which one? It's not the cue, damn it! Look at my skin! Look at my eyes! Now, stop right there! Oh, cut him off! They're in the other way! No, we need 2 rooms.
Watch this bit.
Wonderful. It's the self-activating front door home protection unit. Oh, what does that do? Mike, this actually sprays and sterilizes every guest that enters your home.
But yeah.
You know what I really want you to touch on?
Yeah, come on.
You didn't touch on it much last time. Tartaria.
Okay,
you didn't touch.
We didn't know. We spoke about the whole world. Okay.
I need to know about this Tartaria because after you left, I done some research and I was like, what? I never heard of this thing until you told me.
Yeah,
I'd never heard of Tartaria.
Bro, you know what? This is what I'm here for. I'm here to knock down doors. I'm here to open up doors, and I'm here to get people to, I don't know, just question.
Just open up
our
your
reality.
mind, man. Open your mind.
All right. So what I'm gonna do? What am I gonna do? All right. So I'll give you a summary of what I, from my research, what I believe it to be.
Yeah.
And I'm going to bring up, the first thing I'm going to bring up, let's get this one up here.
Tartaria.
Right.
Never heard of it.
I'm going to bring up, you know what? Shall I go to Google?
And it's funny because the research I've done, there's some people try to downplay it and say it was the old name Europeans gave to uncharted parts of Asia. in Russia that they hadn't discovered at the time. So they just called it Tartaria. And they tried to downplay the whole technology side of it and, you know, advanced civilization side of it. But that's why I want you to...
Okay, so, yeah, I mean, like, for instance, right, when you look at the lockdowns or the vaccine, you'll have, in America, let's use America as an example, you'll have CNBC, NBC say, yeah, you should do this. And then you'll have Fox on the other side, which is right-wing media, saying the total opposite.
Yeah.
And when you've got two people at it, you as the person at home, what are you meant to believe?
You're just gonna be confused, man.
You're gonna be confused, and you're gonna pick a side.
Yeah.
And that's how they divide.
That's what they
us.
want. That's what they want. Yeah. Yeah.
They want us to divide each other, and we're easier to rule.
Yeah.
Then, so people who are gonna deny that Tartaria existed or play it down are gonna have to look at ancient maps. So I pulled up a map here, and it shows Grand Tartaria, which is basically all of Russia, Asia, China, spreading into Europe as well. And you can look up many other ancient maps from antiquity, and you'll see Grand Tartaria there. Now, Tartaria also have their own flag. They're also listed in ancient encyclopedias.
Are you trying to say they're still around?
No. So that empire had its own flag, which was a griffin, a double-headed griffin.
Okay.
And you will see...
What's a griffin?
A griffin is like it's a chimera of like an eagle and a lion.
Oh, okay.
So let me pull it up. Let me go back to Google, if I can just get it.
Grand Tartaria.
Yeah. So if I type in, sorry, let me move that. Tartaria flag. There we go. So I'll go to images, and you'll see a griffin which has the head of an eagle, wings of an eagle, feet of a lion, tail of a snake. But this was the Tartaria flag.
All right.
You'll also see the Tartaria flag, the logo, the emblem. You'll even see a double-headed griffin. Let me just type that in. I'll do a griffin double head. Griffin double head, and I'll do logo. Well, no, emblem. So you will see, if you go to England, you go to Italy, you go to Russia, you go all over the world.
Snap!
You'll see that everywhere.
Is that Romania?
No, it's everywhere, bro. This is what the Tartarians use.
Okay, that makes sense. Because when you think of most of Eastern Europe, you do see that a lot.
Yeah. And the Tartarian Empire is what we know formally now. It came from Russia. The Russian Empire, well, what we call Russia today is where it started from. And then it spread across to Europe and America. And it also went into areas of Japan, bits of Australia, and I'd say the northern half of Europe. Not so much Africa, not so much India, not so much South America, but there were headquarters and stuff.
Yeah.
Now, we can see this in the architecture. Now, this is where I'm going to get to now. So if I type in... do you know what? I actually sent you an image. I'm going to go to the image. Let's get to the image. Okay. Let's see if I can quickly find some Tartarian images. All right, let's see if we can pull this one up. Okay. All right. So
these are quite modern images.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, what if I can just make this bigger for you?
1889.
So you'll see structures like this in all of Europe, Russia, America, everywhere. The architecture is a very similar style. You'll see them with domes. You'll see them with spikes on top to gather the atmospheric free energy that we were talking about earlier. These are remnants of the Tartarian Empire. Now, what's happened? A civilization reset happened a few hundred years ago, which actually was a mud flood. Now, you'll see this. I'll show you some pictures of the mud flood in a minute, but that basically wiped the Tartarians out and the humans, most of the humans at the time. And the remaining humans then repurposed and reclaimed these buildings. For instance, if you go to a town hall, if you go to a courthouse like the Old Bailey, and you look at all these buildings, they've been repurposed into these buildings. Many of these buildings that you see look like palaces. The Old Bailey looks like a palace. If you go to what's that place in North London? Somerset House. You know Somerset House? Check this out. Let me Google it for you. So
when you say Somerset House, I'm thinking of what's that TV show where all the drug dealers are shooting each other? I suppose it's called Somerset House.
Yeah. So check this. This is Somerset House in North London.
Oh, that looks familiar.
And what they do, they hold a lot of look inside. It's like a palace, but they hold a lot of events inside it.
It looks familiar. Isn't that more? Is that near Holborn somewhere?
Yeah.
I know what that is. Yeah.
Where did we go to see Tasha Sultana?
That was
Alexander, right?
Alexander
so
Palace.
you've got Somerset House, and then you've got Alex. Watch this, and then you've got Alexandra. So you've got Alexandria Palace right here.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's try and get a big image. Oh God, what have I done? No, I didn't want to do that. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you could use that.
Yeah. So they host festivals, they host music concerts, they do fireworks, everything there. But it was never meant for that. We have claimed this architecture that we've claimed that we built it. When if you look at everything there, it's megalithic. It's built for giants. In the last podcast, we spoke about giants.
Yes.
And we spoke about them building architecture that we didn't have the technology to build. We didn't have the technology to build these things on a grand scale and so intricately. From that time, what we've actually done, we've inherited the Tartarian architecture and we've repurposed it for schools, municipality buildings, courthouses. We've repurposed it. Now, part of the Tartarian technology was this stuff. They had access to. I know this is low resolution, but they had access to free. You can see these kind of like antennas. I can show you here. These are pictures from like the 1800s. I'm gonna have to send you some high res ones of these, bro, that you can put in here. But you can see. I can't even zoom and make it bigger, but just try to show. Here's another one. This should be quite clear. Let me make this one big. So you can see on the street, they've got these antennas there. Now, if you look carefully, you can see. You can see that they've actually put wires across some of these now.
Yeah.
But prior to that, they didn't have wires on there because they were receiving atmospheric signals through the air, free.
But I'm sure the wires is just so they can send it into houses, right?
No, the wires were added later.
Okay.
So, for instance, have you ever heard of a genre called steampunk?
No.
You heard of cyberpunk, though, right?
Yeah, they got the game, right?
So there's this genre called steampunk, which they write about in books. They try to put it into fiction. So steampunk looks like this. Steampunk. For many shows you watch, steampunk. Everything was basically so instead of a world with electricity, they use steam.
Yes, I've seen this kind of genre flying around. Yeah,
right.
There was a movie about that recently where the cities are moving cities.
Yes,
that's
steampunk.
That's steampunk,
right? And they move in the desert. And that,
yeah.
Right, that is steampunk. Now, a lot of that is founded on like kind of Tartarian.
Snap!
On a Tartarian kind of level because they were using steam. They were using airships. So you know about the blimps, right? So you've got 1900.
I'm learning, man. I'm telling you, man.
So they were using zeppelins. So we often wonder how they were able to make maps from antiquity so accurately. So you've got the Piri-Reis map, which is from the 1500s. And Piri-Reis was actually, I believe he was a Turkish cartographer. And he was able to make an accurate map of the world in the 1500s, where they only had sailing technology at that time.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
But that's because the history has been hidden and empires have been covered up. And they actually had airships at that time. So steampunk, remember we were talking about earlier, like we were saying that they like to take something that's real and distort it. For instance, what were we saying? that if you type in Black Panther today,
Yeah.
this Marvel character will come up,
Yeah.
but they won't show you any of the true heroes.
Black Panthers, yeah.
Who were the guys? You mentioned the guy.
Huey P. Newton was like one of the main guys. There's a few others, but I remember Huey P. Newton the most out of all of them, yeah.
Yeah, so for instance, you type in Black Panther, none of those real.
You get T'Challa instead. You get some fake African name, T'Challa. T'Challa. It just sounds like they thought, what sounds African?
Yeah.
T'Challa. Yeah, we're going to use that. T'Challa, yeah.
I wonder who came up with that, yeah. I wonder who was Stan Lee or the other guy that came up.
I don't know, but whoever did, they.
So, yeah, so what I'm trying to say here is we'll look at the genre steampunk and we'll think, that's fiction, it's not real. Whoever came up with that was great. No, that comes from Tartaria, where they had ancient advanced technology where they were using atmospheric energy, steam, and a different type of technology to create grand structures that were megalithic in size. Now, have you heard of the RH blood, RH negative blood type? Okay, so do you know what blood type you are?
No.
So I think
that's sad. That's very sad.
That's all right. You can get easy check. So I think I'm O negative, right? So you got O, A, B, right? But I think 60 years ago they found out about a new blood type called RH negative.
Was that special?
It's the rarest blood type, bro.
Okay.
It's the rarest blood type, and there's a theory when we try to look at that blood type, where it comes from. It's funny because they found that blood type in Ireland, they found it in the Basque region in Spain, they found it in North Africa amongst the Berbers, and they found it in South America. You know, we get the elongated heads, right? So there's a theory that if you look at the map and you put a continent in between Africa and South America, the continent of Atlantis, there's a theory that the people of Atlantis had the RH negative blood type. And when the continent sank, because they were a maritime people, they sailed to South America, Ireland, Europe, and Africa and settled there. And then, because they were an advanced continent and they would educate then the people of Europe, Africa, Ireland, South America on crafting megalithic structures, ancient technology, and this is where we got a lot of our technology from.
I see.
So there's a theory on that.
I see.
Now, stemming on from that, there's also a theory that these ancient Atlanteans are also the ancestors of Tartarians. So it's like each time we've had a civilization reset, there's been some sort of people or bloodline there to kind of reintroduce technology and people. So for instance, if I go to this picture here of 1901 Buffalo, New York, let me make this big.
Buffalo.
This is in the 1900s, bro. Look at these palaces and they've got electricity that lights up the whole place. In the 1700s, peasants from Europe migrated to America.
Yeah.
On horseback and horse and buggy.
Yeah.
Desiree hears me say this all the time. They didn't go to university. They didn't have the tools. They didn't have the manpower, technology, or electricity. How could they have built these structures which exist? Now I'm going to go to another.
And they look pretty ancient.
Right. So these structures already existed. So these pictures are all from America now.
Yeah. But this is Tartaria now.
Yeah. So this is Tartarian architecture in America.
I see.
So let me get this other picture for you here. Which is this one?
Also get the same structure also in Australia. Australia been founded in late 700s.
1700s?
1700s, yeah. So that yeah. But what if they went there and built exactly what they left? But then again, you're right. They were peasants and criminals
it's not even that they were peasants. The people from England went to Australia in boats, and half of them were dying. They didn't even have tools
to do that.
So no, even to make anything with agriculture.
Yeah.
They arrived there, they were nothing.
Yeah.
No one. They didn't even know what to do with themselves. How they could build those things?
So my thing is, right, before we even go into crafting architecture, if you look today, most of our buildings are made from concrete pouring and glass.
Yes.
We do not build buildings. Let me get a nice let me go back to this New York picture.
Set up for this, man. This is
Get comfortable there.
Trust me, I need to see exactly what you're saying, man.
Okay. Do you know, I really wish I had... All right. I want to zoom into this. All right. So before you... I don't know. My brother is a civil engineer.
Yeah.
Right? Before you even build a building, you have to excavate the ground. Mm-hmm. So as big as the building is, you have to actually excavate the same berth of it. Mm-hmm. Maybe not as deep, but the same berth, right? So are you telling me that in that time, they were going to excavate with donkey and cart, right? All of that mud, all of that stuff, then lay a foundation and then start to build. Look how tiny these people are. Look at how tiny these people are.
It's funny, now that you say that, it's true. I'm realizing the human beings over there.
They're like
little ants.
They're like ants. They're like ants. And all of these structures are all over. They're all over America. So let me see if I can get a all over the world, yeah. But I'm not even going to get to the mud flood stuff yet. Okay, so this is Chicago, 1893. Does that not look like Rome or Greece?
Jeez, look at the size of the sculpture of the statue. Sorry.
Yeah, that to me looks like it should be in Rome or ancient Greece. Yeah. That's Chicago, America, 1893. So they built palaces and giant statues on a megalithic giant scale when Christopher Columbus got there. No, they couldn't do it.
When the you got 17 something, yeah. So it's 100 years later. 100 years later. 1490 something. 1490 something, yeah. Sorry, 1490 something,
American
yeah.
Constitution was written in 17.
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
But still, that makes it even worse. So in the 1500s, with hammer and chisel, they're going to make that.
But this does look a bit realistic, though. We're talking almost 1900. Okay. You know, remember, these guys had moving vehicles at the time. You know, they did have guns. They did have tools. They had tools back then.
But did they... Okay, so where did they get the stones from? Because you have to cut...
They had dynamite. They had dynamite.
Okay, so...
They could have blown up mountains and just used the debris.
And then how would they have transported that there?
They had horses.
Okay, so they would have... They would have...
How many horses did they kill?
So remember the stone. If you see one of the stones, Drazzy, one of the stones for these buildings, remember it's megalithic.
Oh yeah, I forget the grand scale of they're quite big.
And they're all in blocks. It's not like that.
Yeah, like little tiny bricks. Yeah, they're actually you know what? Now that you say that, it's true. These are because even the statue.
Yeah. How'd you get it like that?
Look at the foundation is on. That block looks.
Shall I tell you a big giveaway? So remember, you're just getting into this now. So a lot of people are going to say, "Yeah, okay, they could have made it."
Yeah, I'm in skeptic mode.
That's good. No, good. We need that. There are no construction pictures for any of these. When you're an architect, when you're building,
especially now that photography's around, you're gonna want to show off your skills, man. They always did it.
You always document your work.
Yeah.
You always see the scaffolding. You always see the machinery. None of these pictures from antiquity have any scaffolding or any stages of being built.
There are a few, but they're just a little few people put them all together, proud of themselves.
I'm talking about.
You don't see anything else, and you're like, where are the machines?
I'm talking about seeing them at work. There's no documentation of these being made. They're just already there.
Bro, the more you talk, the more scared I get because the more I'm thinking, am I going down some rabbit hole now?
Right now, this is where
it's the point of no return for me right now.
Well, we're just gonna do a little taster to get people into Tartaria. Now,
I love being ignorant.
This is why. Now, if I get this picture up, this is why. This picture's not in good quality. Never mind. This is
right. Look at all that under there.
Right. So we need to understand that if you go to the bottom of the sea in Japan and all over the world, you'll find pyramids.
Yeah, I've seen the Japanese one. Is it China or Japan?
Japan, but there are pyramids in China. But there's a law in Italy that you are not allowed to dig down anymore because each time you keep digging down, you find another civilization, another set of architecture. If you look up here now, you can see this is the first level, second level, third level, and now they've gone down to the fourth level. So 4 different cities are here. So even in London, as we are today, we are living on...
And there's pillars down there as well, look.
Ancient pillars, correct.
So what is...
Okay, so here we go.
This is the mudslide you're talking about, isn't it?
So this is the mud flood. Now, there's a theory on the mud flood, which I can give you. There's two theories, actually. That the land was flooded and the oceans brought in with it sediment, and the sediment stayed and the water went away.
What's the sediment?
Sediment's mud.
Mud, okay.
Mud, right? And the mud stayed there and kept... So you see buildings that are half covered today.
Yeah.
And then the water went away and, you know, the people were engulfed and that's it. 90% of the population died. The second theory on the mud flood is there was an air pressure change. So if we go back in time, we can look at all civilizations. We can look at that. People were bigger. They lived longer. Plants were bigger. Animals were bigger. They had the dinosaurs or giant animals or whatever. They were bigger because the air pressure was more. So for instance, a whale needs to be at the bottom of the ocean because the air pressure is longer. It holds its body together. It can only come up for air for a short amount of time before it goes back down because it needs the pressure to keep it together. So
otherwise it'll explode, right?
Otherwise it'll explode.
That's why when they come to the shore, they always exploded. Yeah, correct. I always thought why that was. Okay.
So if you had a giant tree or you had a giant person, the air pressure in the earth would have needed to be greater to keep them together. Now, if the air pressure reduces, it means that the plants will grow smaller, the humans will grow smaller. Yes. Right? But if there's a sudden change in air pressure, that can cause like the mud to bubble up from the earth.
Yes, of course.
Right? Because it's the air pressure change. But it can explode and everything. So the second theory is that the air pressure changed and the mud came up and it just stayed. It engulfed everybody and just stayed there. Now, if you look at this picture here, I'm going to show you a picture of the mud flood. I'm going to show you one here. This is a church. You can see now on this church.
Where's the street level? Is that the street level, the first line?
The street level is here.
The first line?
It's where the stairs are.
Oh, wow.
So what they've done, they've dug down. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And when you see churches, you'll always look at the mouth. You'll always see the half window.
Yeah, you wonder where the rest of that window is. Yeah. There it is.
14 feet to ground surf. Now imagine, like in 20 seconds, a mud flood came up. You're suffocating, you're dying. And that's 16 feet here and 14 feet here. 30 feet. You've got no chance. And that's why when we excavate down, we're always finding the buildings that are half covered with the mud flood. And this is what we as truth seekers believe wiped out the Tartarians. The mud flood. And there have been many mud floods. So let me show you another picture.
You will never walk again around without noticing any of those
You know,
things.
I'm not going to lie.
I'm sorry.
Bro, when I drive home sometimes, because I drive through central London, I see so many buildings now that had no significant relevance to my life. I'm looking at them, I'm like, hold on, where's the rest of that window?
Yeah.
And then there's ones where they've actually got like a fake kind of balcony. Yeah. So if you walk on the street, you can actually look down and see more. Yeah. And I'm like, why have you got that there? That makes no sense.
You've been doing your research.
Yeah.
It's all over. Check this one. See how the windows are on the floor?
Gee.
You don't build buildings like that.
No one does that, bro. No one does that.
So what happened now that if you look, this is a picture from America. Do you see the triangle on top?
Yes. What does that mean? Now, that's very Roman style, isn't it?
Correct. Now, the Tartarian architecture looks very Roman-y.
I see.
But the Roman Empire, this is a different rabbit hole. We'll go down a different time. But Tartarian architecture has the columns. It's got the triangles. It's got
pillars as well. They've got the pillars as well.
It's got the pillars. Yeah. Now, we did not build this. We came into these cities. We repopulated. This is another rabbit hole we'll go down. We'll go down into the incubation chambers and baby growing, right? But as the new kind of humanity after the mud flood reset, we came into these cities. We excavated these buildings out. Some of them we didn't excavate. That's why they're still buried. We just reused the second floor. We knocked in a door and just used the second floor. Like that church picture from just now.
Oh God, it's so funny you say that. Yeah, there's one church, and which one you point out? Is that a good one? Let's see.
So this is a picture that somebody made to give you an idea.
Oh, I've seen that one flying around on social media. You know what's so funny?
Yeah, talk to me.
I never, because I didn't know what Tartaria was at the time. I'll see this and think it's beautiful, and that was it.
Yeah, me too.
I never saw the significance of that.
Me too. I went to Russia and saw that. But this is somebody's idea that we're just seeing the tops
part of what do you call that place in Russia? I forget what it's called.
Moscow, the Kremlin, around the Kremlin. Yeah.
So we're just seeing the top part of it.
We're just seeing the top parts of many buildings, and these buildings are called top-heavy buildings because you can see that when you build architecture, it's always symmetrical. It's always you've got the right height for stuff. A lot of these buildings are top-heavy. For instance, let's find a top-heavy building.
Sorry, but you see that one you've got up now?
Yeah.
What is that? Is that?
Okay, so this is them excavating.
Oh wow! Look at all that.
So
the road level clearly, obviously, is the top, is the first line.
Yeah, I'd say it's
say there. Yeah,
yeah. And then this, they've I don't know what's happening here, but you can see that it's level built on level.
Oh my.
So we've touched on Tartaria and what they were, and we've touched on the mud flood.
Yeah.
Here we go. Here's another one.
I did notice that one earlier. That one is quite interesting.
Yeah. So check
this. Oh my god.
It's
like a castle underneath.
Yes, a castle, and then you've got a newer structure.
A little bit more of a newer structure.
Built on top. You know. Now I know you've probably seen another image here. So we talk about Tartarians. Like, who were they? There's a theory out there that if you look at their architecture, the doors are double the size. We spoke about it a little bit on my podcast, your podcast about Tartarians before. But these were people who, in height, they were at least double our height.
Wow.
They had double our size brain, very smart. This is just one of the pictures, you know. And these are not pictures of people who, like, you know, the tallest guy in the world had a problem with his knees.
It's funny you said that, because when you're talking about pressure, I was thinking, could it be that that's the reason why they have so many dysfunctionalities in their body, because maybe they existed at a time when they could have survived due to the atmosphere, but now it's not possible.
Possibly, bro. Possibly, yeah. That's a very good analogy. And I think with the tallest guy in the world who recently died, he had this something wrong that the growth hormone kept producing it, and his bones and muscles couldn't keep up. So he's always off balance with the stick. These are guys that have no problems from all cultures. You've got an American guy I just showed you. You've got a Russian guy, a Russian military guy here. And then you've got this... I
want to believe this stuff is real, because, you know, back then they knew how to manipulate imagery as well.
Yeah,
like
I believe...
Pre-Photoshop.
No, they had Photoshop. Okay, so this... Have you ever heard the term Vanilla Sky?
I love the movie, but I never heard the term before.
So the term Vanilla Skies came about when we look at pictures from antiquity. When you look at pictures from antiquity, they always have vanilla skies.
Okay.
Now, what that means is you'll have the buildings, but you'll never see clouds properly. You'll never see... It was always vanilla. They would Photoshop out with that ancient Photoshop software the airships, the atmospheric frequency, and anything else that was going on.
So that's why the sky always looked a bit manipulated.
You know what? Let's see if we can.
Wow.
All right. So let's look at this.
You know, if you Google, my great uncle, he used to use Photoshop back in the late 1800s, early 1900s. He was known for like making people hold their own heads in their arms. Yeah, he was very popular. I went to his gravesite when I went to Ghana in 2021.
Will he come up on?
2019. I went to Ghana.
Can we
his name was something Lutrot. If you type up Lutrot, Lutt, I'm baying up my surname now. Lutter.
Yep.
Od.
Yep.
T. Photographer, like 1900s or something like that. He was proper known for like tricking people.
No, and this is true. They had
that's a lot of his stuff there.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he took pictures of a lot of ancient kind of like African leaders and stuff like that. But he was also known for manipulating photography. So you can have people holding their heads in their arms, or a child's face on a man's body and a man's body on a man's face on a child's body. He was known for that. And my uncle took me to his gravesite. I've forgotten his name. I don't know what his first name was, but I know he was a Lutrop. I've forgotten his first name.
We definitely need to do another one looking into that, because people think that Photoshop was only around in like the 50s, 60s.
Yeah.
Photo manipulate. They know they had this technology from before.
Back then,
As they had the... have you heard of the Baghdad battery?
No.
Let me watch this. So
sounds familiar though, you know.
Yeah, you would have heard of it. So they tried to say that Edison invented electricity. Watch this. The Baghdad battery. All right. So the Baghdad battery...
Oh, I've seen that. The Egyptians used that.
Egyptians used it. Baghdad's in Iraq, isn't it?
Iraq, yeah.
So they were using this technology 100 and where's this?
Whoa, 150 BC.
They had electricity and batteries from back then, bro. So when you tell me they have ancient photo manipulation software, I believe that.
Yeah.
And the Egyptians had the light bulb. That's you know, they see on the
they had a light bulb.
Yeah, check this.
Gee.
So the Egyptian light bulb. Watch this.
Type up ancient because it might show you a regular. Oh, okay.
No,
okay.
it's here. I've got it.
Yeah,
right here.
I've seen this. This one I've seen. See, I told you.
Yeah. So this one here.
I've seen this picture several times. I've seen that picture several times.
So you can see that they've got the light bulb with the filament in. This displayed by the snake. But yeah, this is the Egyptian light bulb. So the Egyptians had it. They had it in Baghdad. They've had this ancient technology. We've obviously lost the knowledge somewhere down the line through a reset.
It's like a Rasta man holding the light.
It does. Have you heard of the ancient Dryas theory?
Ancient what?
The Younger Dryas theory.
Dryas?
Yeah, Younger Dryas.
No.
So the Younger Dryas is a theory that 10,000 years ago, like something out of the sky fell down, like they're saying it's asteroids or whatever.
Yeah.
And it bombarded the Earth, and this reset. We were at a level where they were using electricity, lights, and all of this. Then the Younger Dryas happened with the asteroids.
What is Younger Dryas? Is it as in Younger Dryas, or is that a word
It's a word that they use.
Oh, I see. It's okay.
That scientists use.
Okay, I
they
see.
say it's a period in which asteroids hit the Earth and reset human civilization and reset the Earth's weather system.
Jeez.
So anywhere that was hot went cold, and anywhere that was cold went hot. So Russia was never cold; it was always warm.
So if that not had happened,
Africa was never desert.
So,
it was always.
So imagine that never happened. Africans would have been white, and the Europeans would have been black.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Then we would have had out of Russia.
Imagine that
Russia theory.
Oh my gosh! But yeah, sorry.
So after the 10,000 years ago, the Younger Dryas happened, reset humanity, reset the Earth, and from 10,000 years ago to now, we've been apparently steadily rebuilding ourselves to this point here, but in between that time, having mud floods and having smaller civilization resets. Almost like we're a humanity with amnesia.
Yeah. Wow, that's insane, man. And you know what movie I've recently just watched as well that reminded me of that? What's that movie? Forget the title.
Is it a new one?
No, it's an old school movie. Like, no, not old school, but like maybe 2018.
Armageddon.
No, the one where the kids have to pick what their destiny is because they live in this utopia where there's no war, no violence, and Divergence.
Bro.
You see how the woman was brainwashing them?
Yeah.
Like literally getting amnesia. So when you said that, it reminded me of that, the reset of the brain.
And they have like Divergent, Research.
Yeah.
The whole,
Yeah.
That's like Hunger Games a little bit.
I always, when they
confused.
during that era, I used to be confused a lot. I'd be like, which one's which? Because they all had similar themes. You know what I mean?
Do you know, around that time, do you know what film I liked watching? Maze Runner.
Maze Runner's dope. I went to watch it in the cinema.
Did you?
Simply because that black brother was in it, a guy from the UK. So I thought, if he's in it and it's an American budget, I've got to watch it. It was a very good film.
And they were meant to make a fourth, but I think in the third one, the main character, he broke his back filming.
Oh, wow.
So it never really happened. But I think
so the main character's actually disabled now?
No. He healed.
Oh, I see. Okay.
He's cool, but it just, But that Maze Runner was
very good film. All of them. Even the one where they tried to go a bit too zombie-ish, it was still good.
Yeah, the third one.
Yeah,
right?
it was still good. Yeah, still good.
Nah,
but
man.
yeah, please, the bulb. Yeah.
Yeah. So the Egyptian bulb, and this is on the hieroglyphs. You cannot deny it's there. The Baghdad battery and the Egyptian hieroglyph proves they had electricity, they had batteries, they had ancient high technology, not ancient technology, ancient high technology.
Okay, so this is my question, right?
Talk to me.
Now, your answer might be a theory, you might have the facts.
Sure.
Why is it that we were fascinated with the invention of electricity if this has been around for a long time? Was it just the elites that were using it? Was it just intelligent people that were using it? Sorry, the more, I don't know, the more
secret society,
educated people or secret society that was using it. Why is it people are fascinated hearing, oh my God, there's some guy and he lit up a whole city. Oh, there's some guy and he lit up a whole tower. Why do we have these historical recorded documentations of people who were around during the invention of electricity? Why, if this stuff's been around since 150 BC?
Okay, so firstly, we have to understand that the history you're taught in school is falsified, it's manipulated, and it's controlled. So your national curriculum is controlled by the Rothschild and the Rockefeller.
So you're telling me that during the time when they were spreading those lies, there were probably people who were saying, it's a lie, but they're dead now. So the next generation just came along and went, in the 1800s,
Who owns the wealth? Who funded the World Health Organization and the World Economic Forum?
Yeah.
And Davos. Rothschild.
Yeah.
So if you look at the Rothschild, and who are they Rothschild in bed with? Vanguard and BlackRock.
Yeah, and
BlackRock
the whole
own
aim was
Pfizer, they own Moderna, they own Google, they have majority shares in Amazon. Jeff Bezos does not own majority of Amazon. It's BlackRock.
Who's BlackRock?
BlackRock are a asset management company.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So let me get you the Google definition. But basically, they're an asset management company worth trillions who manage all the companies in the world.
So Jeff Bezos was just planted.
No, but it's Bezos' company, but they bought into.
Oh, they bought into it. I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I always think these multi-billionaires, they planted, so everyone thinks they can have a chance to become a billionaire, but really, there's no chance.
No.
They just make you think some regular guy can start up a book company that turns into the biggest.
Now, what happens? You start your
online
company,
store. Yeah.
and they'll buy majority shares in it.
So once you start getting big, they want a piece of your action.
And they'll tell you what to do, how to do it. They own all the media channels.
So basically, whatever you start, they have to be able to make sure that whatever you've got is part of their agenda.
Exactly.
I see.
You can't be independent. You'll get swallowed up.
So if you say no, that's it. They'll say you're a paedophile or you're a
They'll
rapist.
shut you down. Or they'll just buy your rival, and they'll get your rival to buy you out the game.
Oh wow!
So look, BlackRock Inc. is an American multinational investment company based in New York, founded in 1988 initially as a risk management and fixed income institutional asset manager. BlackRock is the world's largest asset manager with US 10 trillion in assets under management as of January 2022. The second one that's like BlackRock, not as big, just as number 2 is Vanguard.
I've heard of Vanguard, yeah.
So to all the viewers, look into BlackRock and look into Vanguard and understand who your controllers are. Who runs the world, who runs your media, who runs your sports, who runs your music and your films. Just have a look into it. So, going back to your original question, your history has been doctored and you don't have the onus is on you to look up your own history. Investigate yourself. And we've sprinkled in a few gems here. I'm sure we're going to do a part 3.
Yeah, there's got to be a part 3 for sure. But I think it's sad that we live in a day. Before we were talking off camera, and I was saying, unfortunately, God designed us to not be, aware of manipulation. God designed us to use our intelligence, and there are people out there who I definitely believe don't want us to use our intelligence, because once we can realize the manipulation and we know our worth and we know how special we are, to have the world's best computer in our brain, to have the world's best, system running through our bodies. We're amazing creatures.
I agree.
But people come and manipulate us all the time, and we just look at other things other than ourselves. It's insane.
Just to follow on from what you said, I remember you saying off camera that our body is made of like a network of electrical wires and impulses, and they've obviously figured out a way to manipulate the frequencies and alter you.
Music, medicine.
Yeah. What I will say is, I think God, he did design us to be susceptible to these things, but I also think he's designed us as well to have the faculties to research and look at ways to counter it, to be proactive in spiritual betterment, and how to identify, like what we've done today, how we've identified our controllers, how we've done the research to kind of open up people's minds and stuff, to kind of get out the matrix. I hate to use that word, but
it's the best analogy, because that movie has literally simplified it. Because before, to explain the Matrix, before the term came, the Matrix, you sound crazy.
Yeah.
But that movie has made it so simple. It's like, that's it, one term, the Matrix. That phrases it all. So yeah, I never find it cringe when people use that, because it's the only example you can use.
It's the only
example.
What's the actual definition of Matrix? I'm getting really into using this laptop, bro. You shouldn't have put this in front of me, man.
Listen, man.
Matrix definition.
Shout out to Auntie Jenny. She's the reason why I started using that.
Auntie Jenny.
She came on the show and I was like, you know what? I need to show her some stuff. So that's when I incorporated my PC.
She knows, bro. She knows.
Yeah.
So it says the cultural, social, or political environment in which something develops. And the second one is...
Hold on. Sorry. I was...
Oh, no worries. I'll read it again. The cultural, social, or political environment in which something develops.
Okay.
That's very interesting, bro.
I think they've kind of sugarcoated it a bit too much.
we've only just opened the door for a peak in terms of civilization resets, mud floods, the history being doctored, an ancient Tartarian empire. I mean, look, after the mud flood, what they started to do.
Yeah, I wanted to see that one. That one looks like interesting.
So what they did, look how small the people are to this thing. What you'll find is many of these structures they've destroyed all over the world.
Yeah, because they could not put it back into the ground, innit?
They couldn't put it back, but they couldn't explain how they were built. Because these are megalithic, bro. These are giant structures. They couldn't talk about where they got the rocks from, how they cut them, how they transported them, how they put them there and fixed them. They couldn't. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't fit with the timeline.
Well, you know, I think I asked you this on the last episode, and I don't remember what your answer was. So I'm gonna ask you again.
Ask it again, bro.
Why do you think the powers that be wanted to hide this? Why could they just tell us, "Oh, guys, you know, there were some giants, but a mud flood killed them, so now let's rebuild"? Why do they have to manipulate and lie to us and make us move into these structures and believe that we built them? What is the purpose of the hidden agenda?
Because if you find out that we had access to free energy, we had access to free healing, we had access to actually know what our purpose is. Your purpose as a human. Why are you here? What are we doing here? It goes. There's levels to the game.
Yeah.
And like you said, bro, you said it's about money.
Yeah, it's true. Well. It's true because it's a dumb question. At the beginning of the show, we did talk about the electric cars. You know, why am I going to let you drive electric cars when I can make you buy petrol or buy diesel? You know, so yeah, it makes sense. Makes sense. But
I think it's generally to put their view on their reality amongst us. Like they don't want you to know your purpose on earth. Why are you here? They don't want you to reach your spiritual awareness or enlightenment. You don't remember the Illuminati stands for the illuminated ones.
Yeah,
they're illuminated. You're kept in the dark.
Yeah. But bro, listen, I think we need to save some more for part 3.
Yeah, man. Drazzy,
we need to save some more for part 3. But it's been mad interesting. Bro, listen. I think the people are going to be confused because they know you as the organic farmer. But what name do you want them to know you? Because I call you Ishmael.
Okay, so you just call me Elias Ishmael.
Elias Ishmael.
I'm an organic farmer now because of my missus over there. She is the
real organic farmer
who brought me in.
By the way, she brought me some organic lemons with the stems still on it.
You can let me show them.
With the stems still on it. Look at that.
Let me show you.
Show them the one with the stems still on it.
All right, there we go. With the stems.
Look at that. That's the tiny stem. Show them a big stem. Yeah, let them see like how real this is, man.
But did you
this is not no joke. Oh, she must have plucked it. Oh, she must have plucked the stem. Oh no. But show the stem that got plucked though. Like, look at that.
So
look at that.
When you pick lemons, you're meant to pluck it with the stem still on, so it lasts longer.
Yeah.
If you pluck it and it's off, the lemon won't.
Yeah, because the nutrients is from the stem.
So yeah, no. My background is in marketing and product design, so I'm a qualified engineer. And then when I met my wife, my life turned upside down. I've been enjoying the agriculture
for the better.
I got out of the matrix.
Yeah.
And then I started to do my research and stuff. I'm just here to share the knowledge, you know. But yeah, it doesn't matter what walk of life you come from. Knowledge is knowledge, and betterment is for all, you know. We're not meant to hide this stuff.
Exactly. That's why I love having you on the show, because every time you come on, I learn some stuff. Bro, you know what's so funny? You've even influenced one of my colleagues at work.
Really?
Yeah. One he's a Pakistani brother. And bro, I'm not going to lie to you. Whenever I come on the computer, after he finishes using it, the stuff he researches, the stuff that I've been telling him that you've been telling me. And this guy now, he tries to act like he's not interested. So, but then I see, how comes your whole research is on that? And now he's starting to talk about it. Now he's like, yeah, Albert, do you think that this life is like this? And I'm like, whoa, you're going down that hole, man. And that's all because of your influence. So literally, it's having a ripple effect, you know what I mean?
Bro, the people that you're having on your show and what you're doing, it's good work, bro.
Thank you, appreciate it.
It's hard hitting, and it's different from, we were talking off camera about people talking about
body counts.
It's the same boring stuff, man. We need hard hitting, controversial, but also enlightening content, which is what Drazzy's providing. So yeah, man, it's my pleasure to be on again, bro.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that.
No worries, man.
Guys, thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for watching. I need you to like, comment, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. And leave some comments. Let us know what you think about all the stuff that we discussed. And have a lovely evening. God bless. Or a lovely day wherever you are. God bless.
The Drazzy Show.